What is up, everyone? It is me, Arisaka Type99 here, and today I want to be talking about something that has came to my mind, and is the problem with surplus, right? That we're having right now is a two-factor problem, right? I'm gonna be angering both sides here, okay? So I know you're gonna be typing in the comments right now, right when I expose one side, but trust me, I'm exposing the other side. The first problem that we have with the mail cert problem is we have these old ass boomers who are overpricing everything that everybody wants, right? I guess you could call it a way to make sure that an idiot, as I'm going to explain, doesn't actually ruin the gun and make them even more rare, sure. But the second problem you have is idiots who are willing to pay a lot of money for that item. Okay, I am part of the problem too. I don't have it with me right now. Maybe I will show it later, and I do have it a video on it on my other videos on this channel. I mean, of my Mosin Nagant. I'm part of the problem. Okay, I bought that Mosin Nagant for $380 4 years ago, and I know some people in the comments are even going to be, "You bought a trash rod for that much? I remember in 2010." Listen, okay? Maybe I should have bought it right when I turned 18. I think it was like 2017 or 2016 when I turned 18, okay? I should have bought it then, yes. But I was still going through high school, going through all those hormonal problems, right? And the last thing I wanted to do was buy a rifle, and then someone is like, "Oh my God, he has a firearm," and then everybody goes crazy, because back in the day, it was just crazy as a white guy, you know? You tell people you're into firearms, and then, oh my gosh, you're on a list or whatever, and the principal gets called on you. Yeah, I know. I'm exposing some of my bad lore, right? But people were kind of crazy to me and calling me names when I just said, bro, I was into firearms. And there was an even crazier guy into firearms, and now I'm just complaining like a little bitch. But regardless of me complaining right now, the two-factor problem does exist. You have boomers who are pricing things way too high, and then you have the idiots who are buying these at way too high a price. Now, there's a problem that comes down to it, right? The boomers have thought of firearms as an investment, and firearms are an investment to a certain extent, right? If someone's going to invade your home, you're gonna need some protection, right? If, I don't know, the government decides to do something where you actually need the Second Amendment, then what you have right there with you is an investment. Sure, I get it. But a lot of these boomers are thinking, bro, I'm gonna sell my 20-year-old 1911 for $2,500 when I bought it for probably $20 and a pack of cigarettes at the gun store or whatever. That's a joke. About the cigarette part. I don't know how much they paid for the 1911, but it really couldn't have been that much. But then you also have idiots who are buying those firearms. I saw a 1911, right? It had like not diamond, but like pearl pistol grips, right? Not grips, but the grips or whatever, right? I said, I don't want this. And then I put it down, right? And, you know, I was looking at it, but I was pointing in a safe direction. It was at a gun show, so there was no ammo inside of it, and there was no magazine too, but I was still being cautious where I was pointing at, right? But I said, I don't want this, right? I'm still at the booth looking at things, right? Some guy walks in, he's like, oh, I want that. At the time, I was probably like 22, 23, right? This was like 3 or 4 years ago. Right, but the guy looked a little bit younger than me, so he was probably 21, right? And he said, I want this. You want to spend how much on a 1911? Oh my gosh. I mean, I got a 1911 too, okay? I haven't shown it much on the channel. I did that one video on it, but I haven't done much of it because I've never shot the dang thing, and I bought the dang thing. Eventually, I want to shoot it, but who knows when I'll do it. But right now, I bought a 1911 used for around $350 after taxes and all the background check like crap. You know, you have to pay for like a background check sometimes. After all said and done, boom, I got it for $350. That's a echo in my room right now, but still, that's the thing a lot of people don't understand, that they need to understand, is that there are cheaper alternatives, right? You don't need to buy these 1911s. Speaking about a 1911, when I was at the same gun show, right? When I bought this rifle, I didn't think I was ever going to buy this rifle, but I did, okay? It was a SKS, Chinese SKS. It's called the Type 56. I was about to buy a 1911 for $700. I was depressed as I was about to buy it because I'm like, man, I said if I'm going to find a 1911 where I can afford, I'm going to buy the 1911. But then my dad said, hey, yo, what about this thing? This thing looks cool. Chinese Type 56 SKS, and boom, I bought it. I love it. I've made a couple videos about it, I believe, and if not, I need to make more videos about it because I like that SKS. But that SKS was 600 doubloons. You guys gotta not really doubloons, I'm using it as a joke, but $600, okay? You guys have got to remember, even 4 years ago, the cheapest AR you could get was a PS, like, or maybe a Bear Creek Arsenal upper and lower, or a combination of the two, for like $350, okay? Now, after inflation, it's probably like $430, $450 or something like that. But these old relics are more expensive than the new modern day crap. Now, a lot of it has to do with logistics. I mean, everybody ever made has an AR, okay? You're gonna find a new gun company, right, that does AR parts, and eventually they'll sell AR lowers too. It could be Bing Bong Ling Long or something like that, LLC, and they're gonna sell AR parts, and eventually they're gonna make their own AR-15. Call it B Bling whatever 15. But it's more expensive to make a Sten, Mark II Sten or whatever. You know, the tube and metal gun in World War II than it is to make an AR-15. Like I said, a lot of it has to do with logistics and whatnot. And a lot of tooling has been made so available for AR-15s that, you know, that's why it's cheap. But yes, that's crazy. Why is a Mark Sten more expensive to make than an AR-15? I just don't understand. Some things I will just never understand about the gun community, okay? The boomers I will never understand, and I'll never understand people like me who are willing to pay so much money for the surplus. I've been looking on Gunbroker, and Gunbroker is not usually the best place to look at the actual prices for firearms, but I've been seeing some Mosins go for $550. Mosins, not PU Mosins, 9130 Mosins. Like straight from Soviet Union, World War II era. Mosin Nagants. That is crazy that people are willing to spend that much money. But can I blame them? No. Of course, there's other ways to get cheaper military surplus. Like for a while, the Carcano, I'm sorry, I forgot the Carcano name. What is it? Just the Carcano. There was a Carcano that you can get roughly everywhere that was about $200. I know Royal Tiger Imports have like the C or D grade, whatever they say. That's like the absolute bottom of the barrel. Like probably doesn't even function military surplus. And it takes a lot of work to get it going. But if you want to put in the TLC, you could get it going. So overall, the point of this video is to tell people the major problem with the surplus collecting, and it's a dual problem. But because it's a dual problem, unless both sides decide to not be dumb, which you're asking boomers not to be dumb, and you're asking young idiots not to be dumb. Just remember that. But both sides have to not be dumb and come to a realization for things to happen for the beneficial whatever for both parties when it comes to firearm collectors and firearm enthusiasts and firearm just lovers, I guess. Anyways, this is Arisaka out. I haven't had the time to do any shooting videos. Please give me more subscribers so that I can quit my day job. I'm kidding. I probably will never quit my day job, even if I get 1 million subscribers. But regardless, enjoy the video.